When we think of the Middle Ages, many of us imagine a dark and backward time filled with superstition and suffering. But history tells a different story. Let's explore some of the biggest myths about the medieval world and uncover what life was really like. One of the most common misconceptions is that medieval people believed the earth was flat. In reality, educated people in Europe knew it was round. Sailors, scholars, and even church leaders recognized this. The idea of a flat earth was actually popularized much later. It's true they didn't have modern plumbing, but medieval people were not as dirty as we imagine. Public bathhouses existed, people washed regularly, and manuals on cleanliness were written. Of course, during plague years hygiene collapsed, but overall they valued cleanliness far more than the stereotype suggests. We often picture the Middle Ages as nothing but peasants tilling fields. While peasants were the majority, society was more diverse than that. There were merchants, craftsmen, scholars, monks, and a growing middle class in cities. Life wasn't just toil in the mud, many people lived vibrant, cultured lives. Medieval scholars preserved ancient Greek and Roman texts, translated Arabic works, and laid foundations for modern science. Universities emerged, and thinkers like Roger Bacon pushed experimentation. This was an age of continuity and preparation, not just ignorance. Another myth is that religion blocked every scientific or cultural advance. In truth, many advances came from within church institutions. Monks preserved books, monasteries developed farming techniques, and cathedrals became centers of learning. Faith and knowledge often worked hand in hand. Yes, average life expectancy was lower, but that number is skewed by high infant mortality. If someone survived childhood, they often lived into their 60s or beyond, not unlike today. Plenty of medieval men and women lived long, full lives. Spices like cinnamon, pepper, and saffron were highly prized and widely used by those who could afford them. Even ordinary people enjoyed flavorful meals with herbs, garlic, onions, and mustard. Food culture was far from dull. While the system was male-dominated, women were not powerless. Noble women could manage estates, some even commanded armies, and asses often held authority rivaling local lords. Figures like Eleanor of Aquitaine show that women shaped politics and culture in lasting ways. Contrary to lurid tales, the Iron Maiden and many gruesome devices were actually inventions of later centuries, exaggerated in Victorian times to make the Middle Ages look more barbaric than they were. While torture existed, it was not as widespread or theatrical as popular imagination suggests. So, the Middle Ages weren't just 1,000 years of ignorance and misery. They were a time of growth, adaptation, and surprising sophistication. Many of the myths we believe today say more about modern storytelling than about the people of that era.